right, guys, this is part two. So let's look at part two here real quick. And I finished with number five, which was the big long three variable system problem. And then I am going to work, this is number 7. And so we are left with 2x, negative 2x plus 6y equals negative 16. And then 4x minus 3y equals 5. Okay, so now when we're using Cramer's rule, and you can use Cramer's rule anytime you want. This Cramer's rule will satisfy the algebra piece. We're going to rewrite the x's and the y's right here. So we're going to do negative 2 and 4, and we're going to do 6 and negative 3. Okay, guys? All right, now we're going to find the determinant. So we're going to go negative 2 times negative 3, negative 3, and we're going to subtract that from 4 times 6. And then we're going to get 6 minus 24, which is equal to negative 18. That is my determinant that I'm going to divide everything by. So let's do x's. And for x's, I will do black. So we're going to solve for x here. So x equals, the x's are replaced with m and n. So we get negative 16 and 5. And y's stay the same. So we got 6 and negative 3. And that is all going to get divided by the determinant, which is 18. So we'll do the same pattern. We get 48 minus 48 came from negative 3 times negative 16 times minus 5 times 6, which is 30, over negative 18. So that is going to be 18 over negative 18, which is equal to negative 1. So we know that x is equal to negative 1. Okay, so we know that part, which is good. I'm going to double check and make sure my answers are good here. So that's negative 1. And let's see if I'm in the right spot. Again, it's just been one of those days, guys, that nothing seems to be going well. All right. What the heck's happening here? Honestly, guys, I don't know what's going on here. All right. Well, we're just going to go with it. So it's negative 1. And then from there, there we go. From there, we can just solve for y. So I'm just going to take that first equation. I'll do that in a different color here. We'll do this one in blue. And I'm going to go, okay, well, negative 2, and I know that x is negative 1. Negative 1 plus 6y equals 16. And then this is going to be a positive 2, right? So then, that's equals negative 16, sorry. And so if this is a so 2 times negative 1 is 2. If I move it to the other side, it becomes a negative 2. So I get 6y equals negative 18. Divide both sides by 6, and I get y is equal to negative 3. So my answer is x is equal to negative 1, and y is equal to negative 3. So that's my solution to that using Cramer's rule. All right, so let's do another one here, and we'll move this up. We'll move this up here, and we are going to do slope intercept through the line. So we are right here. So I'll do number 9 right now. So I'm doing number 9, and I'm going to take negative 5 and 0, and then we're going to do 4 and negative 5, and then I'm going to do my slope because I need a line. So I'm going to do my y. So it's negative 5 minus 0 over 4. Since I chose negative 5, I'm going to use this x first. 4 minus a negative 5. And that's going to be negative 5 over 9. So that's my slope. So then I just pick a point, and I'll just choose 4 and 5. Actually, I'm going to choose negative 5 and 0 because it's got 0 in there. So I'm going to do y minus my y1, which is this one right here, and that's going to be 0, equals negative 5 over 9 times x minus my x value, which is negative 5. And you can leave it right there. Okay, so we can do something just like that. You can clear it out. You can solve for slope intercept, whatever you need to do. So for this particular one, they ask you for slope intercept. So all you do is do this. Clear the denominator here, right here. I'm going to multiply everything by 9. So I change it into 9y. The 9's cancel, so that one's gone. Negative 5. And then this is shielded x plus 5. So now I can just kind of clean things up here and say, okay, well, this is 9y, and I distribute the 5 in. I get negative 5x minus 25. And then I divide everything by 9, so this will be y equals negative 5 over 9x minus 25 over 9. That's how we end up dealing with those equations. All right, so that's slope intercept. I used point slope form to solve it, which is y minus y1 equals slope times x minus x1. All right, so the last one I'm going to show you for now, and I may post something a little bit later, but I am running out of time today. And we are going to tackle number 11. So number 11 is a little tougher. And so we're going to end up graphing these things. So number 11, don't forget you got to graph them. And so I'm going to get, and I don't know the exact graph here, guys, and I don't want to take up your time. But we have this here. So we're going to create an equation, and I believe they look something like this. So this is 2. This is at a 2 here. I'm just doing a quick graph, guys. This is a 2, and if I take that other equation, and okay, so this I'm doing x plus 2y is greater than 2, and so I need to solve for y. And in fact, I'm going to move that one real quick here, and I'm going to create this one here, and I'm going to do x plus 2y is greater than 2, and I'm going to do 2y is greater than negative x plus 2, and I'm going to divide everything by 2. And so that is going to give me, I'm going to go through 1, and then I'm going to be a negative slope that goes down 1 and over 2, and it's going to be a dotted line that goes like that. That's that one. All right, so then you can do this in your calculator, guys. I don't have my calculator with me, and I don't think you guys want to see me do calculator work. So then the other one is 3x minus 6y, and that is going to be 3x minus 8y, and that is going to be greater than negative 64. And so again, I'm going to solve for y, and so we end up with negative 3x minus 64. And then I'm going to divide everything by 8, negative 8. And that's going to flip this sign, so I get y is less than 3 over 8x plus 8. And that is my other equation. So I'm going to go up to 8. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I got a positive slope that goes this way. Okay? So then we've got one more thing we got to worry about here. So then I'm going to take this yellow one, and I'm going to do my negative 2 less than x, which is less than 2. Now, these do not go in the calculator, so I need to look at this differently. So I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to flip it around and say x is greater than negative 2. So I'm going to go over to -2, and I'm going to draw my line, and I'm going to shade to the right. And then I'm going to take this one and say x is less than 2, and I'm going to go over to 2, and I'm going to draw my line, and it says shade to the left. So what I end up with is I have the blue line, which wants it above it. I want the green line, which wants it below it. That's what less than means. And then I want a shade in between. So I get this shape right here, guys. And I can't draw it very well, where I end up with my shape here. So I really want to know where 2 crosses here, 2 crosses there, 2 crosses there, and 2 crosses there. So what I do is I know that x equals -2 right here, because that's what it says. And I just take it and I plug it in here to find the y. So for this particular point, I do x is -2, so that means y is equal to -2 over 2. That's into this equation here, plus 1. And so I get, oh, excuse me, -2, and there's a negative in front for this negative. So I end up with y equals 1 plus 1 equals 2. So this point right here is -2 and 2, because I can plug them in here. Now, what happens is, and I'm going real fast, guys, because this is just kind of a solution to the review. I have this function that they give you at the bottom of the page, and it is x and y, and 5x plus 3y. And so I have this point right here, -2 and 2. So f of -2 and 2 is equal to 5 times -2 plus 3 times 2, which is equal to -10 plus 6, which is equal to -4. So that's how I find one of them. Now I go back up here, and this is where I'm going to go ahead and stop, because my computer it'll get crazy going back and forth. I need to plug in -2 to the green equation, and it'll give me my y value that goes here, and I plug in that y value down here. And then I do the same thing with x equals 2. I plug in 2 to this equation, and it'll give me my y value, and then I keep plugging it in. And then remember that your largest value here is your maximum, and your smallest value is your minimum, and that's how we tackle those. So that gives you a good idea on how to tackle these, and we will see you guys soon.